going in so it's visible. So again, the idea is not that I pull her. What I'm doing is connect to her, okay? And then I shift, and I drop this down, okay? And she's just keeping her weight. So for her, it's natural to step. So again, if I think, oh, I'll just go down. Didn't go down enough, okay? So you gotta go down more. And I'm like, now I'm in a weird little angels on a pin thing where I'm trying to figure out how much down is enough. It's not a function of how much down. It's a function of it's either down or it's not. So here, I kind of went down, but I stopped somewhere in the middle, and I just was like, I was happy with it, but it wasn't enough to affect her. So what I'm doing is down. That's affecting her, and then I just keep my distance. Okay. So then, let's put this in. So then, what people are doing is when they do this and she steps, they're going, I got her elbow, and let go with your right hand and hit me in the head. Okay, that's what I do to people all the time, and they get aggravated, but I like it. So the problem is, I have great control here of her elbow, but her body's now behind me. So something I'm doing is wrong. And so what I'm going to think about is when I shift and I go down and I turn. Okay, so I turned the whole box. Why? Because she was stuck to it. So this idea is, as I move through here and here, she's connected to me. She's got her own box. And what I do is invite her into my box. And then when I turn, it's not that I start referencing her parts, but I go, here is where I'm not continuing in this direction. I'm letting the uke go that way, and I'm changing my orientation. That's why she goes and I don't. So this is why when we throw people, you don't go. Okay? Because you don't join their direction. You let them go, but you align and you lend to their direction. Okay, so what I want you to pay attention to is here, here, here. Okay, when I shift and I turn, if I turn like this, she's very nice uke and she's willing to turn, but the hitting me in the head stuff doesn't stop. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm connecting here, shift to here, I go, the hitting me in the head stuff, here we go. It suddenly wasn't an issue, okay? Because I'm making a right angle here for right angle people. And that's at the back of my so I'm making a right angle this way, and then here when I turn, I make a right angle this way, and she's getting turned around now. We call that the corner. That's another day, okay? So we try that. I can't believe it. People come to be like, this is boring and I want to get past it. And you're like, the thing is, you go, how are you doing Tenkan? And they're like, what kind of question is this? So the thing is, we practiced outside for 2 years during COVID. And I was like, we're doing it on the grass, we're doing it in parking lots, we're doing all those places. And you're like, you're wearing shoes that stick to the ground, especially in the park. So I'm like, encouraging everybody, wear your hiking boots so that you can't just smudge around. And so the thing is, this Tenkan, when you move, you weight and unweight your feet. And you cannot move on a weighted foot. I don't care what you are doing, unless you're on ice, like ice dancers can do that, but we cannot. So the idea is to move on a weighted foot is self-destructive. So the question is, how do you do your Tenkan? And then the second part is, where do you end up? So right now, we've defined the box, and we've defined the fact that we want to end up here, and people are still doing this. And you're like, you went to here and then you came back. And so what I'm doing is, I'm basically shifting my weight to here, and then I cock my hip, and then I jump from here onto that foot, and I turn that foot while there's no weight on it. And now I'm facing that way. And then from here, I shift my weight, and I cock this foot, and I push. So when I do that, I'm turning while there's no weight. And then you're like, you get to the end and you're like, well, I want to fix it a little. Okay, but that takes time. We call that a step. And it means if you did a step and I didn't, bad news for you. Okay, so this idea of Tenkan is one you're gonna have to like kind of revisit in terms of how you do it, why you do it like you do it, and what's the effect when you do it like that. And so here, when I shift, it's literally, I have my hiking boots on and my Joe, and somebody's coming and you're like, I'm going like this and I cannot move. So what I'm doing is shifting, and then shifting, and then shifting. And each time I have to completely move my weight. I don't have to show you that I did. I can quietly, or even more quietly. Okay, and so the thing is, but it's not a secret. This has been shown for years. And so we need to work on this idea of how you do Tenkan. So let's, for a minute, same side grab. I connect my center and I push. Then I connect my box. Okay, so I connect, 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 shift. Connect, connect, shift. Okay, a couple times back to the box. So back to my box. Okay, so we do this idea. Okay, so I shift, I shift, I shift, I shift, I shift, and I'm just moving up, down. So what I'm doing is shifting and then going up, down. And so it's the same corner. It's not that I'm moving here. I'm shift, connect, down, shift, move up. In front of me, this is down, and then, okay, then you can do that however you want. So then I can shift, 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 and, sorry, those happens, man. So I'm shift, 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 shift. At the back corner of my box, up and down is easy. Now the problem is straight into him, even though he's bent. So at this point, I like to do just a little side step. And when I do, I don't turn. I just move, and I keep this hand connected to my side, and I keep this hand connected to my front, and I keep my center connected to the UK. Okay, so you can try that one, or you can do it however you're used to. But this idea, okay? Slowly have the box and everything's great. So I have this great center to center connection going on, but I've collapsed. So this is the idea of I can get smaller without collapsing. And so, hugging yourself stuff. It's also in the bag of nickels. But the idea is if I am shifting and shifting and shifting and then using the distance where it's easy for me to move, and then changing my weight, and then adjusting my posture, and then adjusting my posture, and then adjusting my distance, and then I control the interaction. So the idea of shifting here is not about trying to lead him someplace by his hands. It's about getting out of the way. And then here, I'm like, I didn't quite bring this with me. So what I'll do instead is try to smash him. And you're like, no. What I'm gonna do is go, oops, and then I'm gonna turn. And then I'm gonna turn all the way. Okay? And this is the idea of when I shift and I go here, this is the difference between this. Trying to lead him and connecting here and turning. Okay, so I'm shifting, connect, and I bring this to me, and it's not that I move here. This is the Tenkan again. The Tenkan is here. So I'm moving out of the way twice. So I shift out of the way, but didn't quite make it all the way. So from here, the tenkan that people are working on, they're still trying to do this idea of leading from here. What I'm doing is going completely through. You don't have to throw the person. Right? You don't have a lot of space. Okay? But what I want to do is practice this idea of I'm from here. This hand does not go there. Okay? This hand goes with me. And I walk. So the hands really aren't that important. The connection to him is, and the hands might be the way you do it. But it's just one of many possible ways. So you try those.